Here's Nick Lowry's kick. Comes up short. Edmonds picks it up on the hop. Bobby Joe Edmonds back to the 19-yard line. So Lowry's kick is short, fielded on the first hop by Edmonds, who brings it back 12 yards before he's stopped by Rob McGovern, the leading tackler on special teams for Kansas City. There's a look at that Raider offense. Dan Turk starting at center, replacing the injured Don Mosbar. Schrader hitting 55% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Marcus Allen is injured. Bo won't start, so Smith and Mueller the running backs. In the dot formation, Horton is in as a second tight end, and Jackson usually will be in there as the only running back. First down for Jay Schrader and company from their own 19-yard line. And Schrader to pass on first down. Incomplete. Intended for Willie Gault, but the pass by Schrader was wide of the mark. Here's a look at that Kansas City defense now, second in the AFC, trailing only Cleveland. Moss, a Pro Bowl nose tackle. First-round draft choice Thomas has been outstanding so far, leads Kansas City in tackles and sacks. Pro Bowler Dino Hackett back from injury. Secondary, one of the reasons the Chiefs lead the AFC in pass defense. To stop the run, they'll go to this 4-3. Sally Amua replaces a linebacker, Ashley, to get in 4 defensive linemen. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. This time it's a handoff to Mueller, and Mueller has crossed the 20 to the 23-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Raiders. The stop on the play by Dino Hackett, the Pro Bowl linebacker who is making his 2nd appearance back for the Chiefs after an injury. Walker Lee Ashley got a piece of the tackle as well.
Well, this Raider offense certainly is a bit out of rhythm. They don't have Marcus Allen in there, their best back. They have Turk at center. Their offensive line's disarray. Bo Jackson's not in rhythm. So this defense of Kansas City should shine today, Tom. I don't think the Raiders are very efficient at this stage.
3rd and 7. Schrader in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers, Gault, Fernandez, and Alexander in the game. Schrader under pressure. Incomplete. The pass a little too high for the intended target, tight end Mike Dial, who was covered by Danny Copeland on the play. The run. Jeff Gossett, you see his average, ready to punt. Manley is deep for the Chiefs, and Manley will take it at the 39-yard line. Looking for a place to go, and there is no place to go. He'll cross the 40 back to about the 42, a 3 or 4 yard return before he's tackled on the play by the Raider special team as the H-back, or second tight end. After the 40-yard punt and 5-yard return, the Chiefs have a first down. Ball at their own 43-yard line. No score, opening series for Kansas City. Christian Okoye from the play-action fake, and the pass is complete down to the 25-yard line to Manley. Manley makes the catch at the 25, beating Eddie Anderson as the play-action fake to Christian Okoye worked to perfection, a 31-yard strike.
Well, the offensive line made good fakes. Okoye, and the ball was hidden beautifully. Here's the ISO on Manley, and you see he gets inside number 33, Eddie Anderson. Now, these defensive backs weren't fooled by play-action fake. He just got outrun. Anderson got outrun by a good move by Manley. Now, watch how Jaworski hides his ball neatly in his tummy here. You see that? He has it back there on his hip, away from the defense. But once again, Manley's good route. The ball got there on time.
From the 26-yard line, Kansas City with a first down. Okoye to the right side. Nothing much there. Across the 25 to the 24, gain of 2. Here's the Raider defensive starters now. Howie Long, hampered by injuries the last 2 years, gets a start today. Goldix having a good year, second on the team in tackles. The leading tackler, linebacker Tom Benson. In the secondary, Anderson, the hero Monday night, beating the Jets with an 87-yard interception return for a touchdown. The Raiders go to get a better pass rush to their Pride 50 defense with 5 defensive linemen, and Robinson the only linebacker, and Hayden's in for 5 defensive backs. Second down and 8 for the Chiefs. Saxon in the backfield with Okoye. Okoye gets the call, trying the left side, lowers his head and bangs down to the 20-yard line. Got about 4 yards before Eddie Anderson, the strong free safety, came up to get the big man Christian Okoye to the ground. 156 yards against Seattle last week.
Well, Okoye is reading his blocks much better, Tom. The more work he gets, the better he's going to be at running back. John Alt missed his block there, but Okoye was able to get outside where there wasn't a defender, actually. Alt has been performing consistently well, and actually when he threw his cut block, the defender jumped over him. But this man, Okoye, is learning to run behind that block, and he's getting better each week.
Okoye out of the game on 3rd and 3. McNair is in. Jaworski from the shotgun completes it to McNair. McNair down short of the 15-yard line, and I believe just enough for a first down. Mike Harden on the nickel defense for the Raiders came up to make the stop on McNair.
Well, it was a good read by both Ron Jaworski and Todd McNair. There was an outside blitzer coming, that
a rookie out of Temple who was on the development squad of the Kansas City Chiefs and then was activated just before their game against the Chargers in San Diego a few weeks ago. It is enough for a first down. First down, Chiefs from the 15-yard line of the Raiders. No score first quarter, 10:41 left. Jaworski hands to Okoye. And Okoye is stacked up. He got only 2 yards. Mike Wise, the defensive end for the Raiders, leading the charge as the Raiders were ready for Okoye that time. Okoye carried the ball 30 times against the Seahawks last week. We asked him if he got tired. He said a little, but he used to carry it 40 times in college.
Look at the right side, number 90 fighting 75, Irv Eatman. Irv Eatman couldn't quite get Mike Wise off the line of scrimmage. Credit that big 275-pound defensive end with that play, Tom.
And it brings up a 2nd and 8 for the Chiefs. Ball at the 13 of the Raiders. Jaworski. Incomplete. The pass intended for Manley, but he short-hopped it and didn't catch it anyway. So Jaworski a little short as he pulled the trigger there. 1986. Facing the Raiders nickel now on 3rd and 8.
He's got great statistics with heart and desire, too, Tom.
On the ground, the give is to McNair. McNair upended, but to the 2-yard line. Todd McNair gets the call from the shotgun. Mike Harden just tripped him up to save the touchdown. 11 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for Kansas City.
Just a beautiful draw play here. Mike Webster goes back. John Alt, 76, comes out and throws a nice block on Scott Davis. Just a beautiful hole downfield. You see, but Lutz, number 72. Watch this line play inside now. There you see Alt, 76, trapping out, and both Irv Eatman and Lutz were downfield leading the way for McNair. Excellent blocking.
Marty Schottenheimer and Irv Eatman, one of those offensive linemen, saying that the fact that they've been together now has really improved their play as the season has gone on. 1st and goal. Okoye for the corner. Touchdown. Straight extra points. And make it 182 in a row. So the Kansas City Chiefs on their first here at the Coliseum. It's 7-0 Kansas City as Nick Lowry has the football teed up and ready to kick it. Edmonds and Ware will be deep again for the Raiders. 7-0 with 8:59 left in the first quarter. There are Edmonds and Ware. Edmonds on the left, Ware on the right.
Certainly Kansas City got started the way they wanted, Tom. They got their running game going. I talked with Jaworski before the game, and he said, my goodness, Joe, it makes it so much easier to pass the ball when we get our running game going. I said, tell me about it, Ron.
Lowry's kick taken by Edmonds at the 3. Cuts it upfield, finds a little seam, and is hauled down at the 21-yard line. Down at the bottom of the stack, Kenny Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was an 18-yard return, and the Raiders with a first down. They sputtered a bit on their first possession. Bo Jackson still awaiting his first appearance into the game. Art Shell told us yesterday that it would probably be the 2nd or 3rd series before Jackson would come on. Said we want to get him the ball, but we don't want him to carry the whole load. The Raiders have been outscored, including this first touchdown now, 49-13 in the first quarter. Smith and Mueller to setbacks, and the handoff is to Smith. Steve Smith to the 25-yard line. Got 4 yards on first down. Stopped by Deron Cherry from the free safety spot and a lot of other white-shirted Kansas City defenders. Steve Smith this year has gained 179 yards. He's the 2nd leading rusher on this Raider team. Leading rusher, of course, is on the sideline today, Marcus Allen, who was injured against the Jets on Monday night. Not only has he been the leading rusher the last 7 seasons, but a valuable receiver as well, the second leading receiver for the Raiders this year. Vance Mueller on the handoff, stopped short of the first down. It'll be third coming up for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Chris Martin of the Chiefs made good penetration that time to trip up Vance Mueller in the backfield. Now this defense of Kansas City played very well against Seattle last week, Tom, and I can't see the Raiders sustaining any kind of running game or good running game against these Chiefs. Schrader's going to have to get hot and start hitting some of his receivers.
Dial and Horton, 2 tight ends in the game. Galt, the only receiver, wide to the left. 3rd and 2, and Schrader will put it in the air. Drills it completely across the 40 for a Los Angeles first down. Ethan Horton, the tight end, who formerly was a running back for Kansas City, got open, and Cherry and Lewis gave him enough room for Schrader to drill it home 13 yards.
Well, the play worked because you see Schrader's going to get plenty of time. Moss, Neil Smith, they can't get back there. Derek Thomas, they were blocked beautifully on the play. And here, it's just a fine bit of protection. And who was it that caught that pass? Ethan Horton, of course. Just good pass, good throw. Just having a tough time explaining this one.
Well, it's the initial Raider first down, and they have some breathing room after their own 42. Here's the pitch to Mueller. Mueller hit, manages to shake a couple of tackles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Neil Smith, the defensive end for the Chiefs, not letting Mueller get outside, and the fans are calling for Bo.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I've got to believe that the team is wondering when Bo's going to come in, unless they told us they weren't sure, but they're out there in the middle of the field, and Bo could give this, or will give this offense the shot that it needs. How ready is he? Bo said he's ready. Yesterday he said he's in good shape. Football shape is not much different than baseball shape. He said he's ready to go.
Sally Alua is in Kansas City in its 4-3 defense. Schrader, plenty of time. Another Raider first down. Merlin Fernandez, leading receiver for Los Angeles, makes the catch. Schrader was getting pressure from Dan Saliamua, but he stepped up in the pocket and delivered it to Fernandez for 15 yards.
Well, Schrader may have been getting some pressure, but it didn't come until awful late. You see number 58, Derek Thomas, crossed your screen right there. This was a good pass on first down, and it caught the Kansas City Chiefs expecting run. Here you see Fernandez at the top of the screen. Now he just pushes off a little bit, then gets right inside there, outruns Albert Lewis a little bit, but good pass protection.
Mueller on first down crosses the 40 down to the 37-yard line, tripped up there by the Pro Bowl safety Deron Cherry.
2 interceptions last week. Well, how many does he have for his career, Tom? About 1,000?
He does have, let me see, 43 for his career,
goodness.
Joe. 43 interceptions by Deron Cherry, who has been to the Pro Bowl 6 straight years. Schrader on 2nd and 5. Steve Smith to the 40. And just beyond, Mike Bell made the tackle.
Big play by Mike Bell.
And we'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Chicago-Houston game as the Oilers pull the upset at Soldier Field. 33-28, the winning score coming on a 12-yard run by Lorenzo White. 33-28 here at the Coliseum. The Raiders trailing 7-0, but driving on the Chiefs. They have it 3rd and 4 from the Chiefs' 37-yard line. Bo Jackson has yet to see action in this game, but is ready. Schrader hit as he releases it, and it will be a diving catch by Mike Dial, the tight end. He had beaten his man, the ball just a little off target. He was being covered by the linebacker Chris Martin downfield, and Dial made a diving catch for 31 yards.
Schrader getting
first time. The Raiders with a first and goal from the Kansas City 5. Smith and Jackson in the backfield.
Could it be too much noise, huh?
I don't know. The Raiders are up to the line of scrimmage and ready to go, but the officials are going to huddle. Howard Rowe is the referee heading today's crew.
I'll bet they're looking at that reception to see if the ball hit the ground. The way Dial turned in midair and came to the ground, they might have some question about it, but it sure did look like a good catch, and this is the kind of hold-up we don't like to see.
Art Shell.
Play stand. First down.
So they were reviewing it, Joe, and Howard Rowe says it stands. There's Art Shell in his first home game as Raider coach.
So let's take a look at this catch one more time. You see Dow making a good pivot. Now, does the ball hit the ground? No, he has it tucked away in that arm. Beautiful catch.
Nice catch indeed, and it has the Raiders in scoring territory. First and goal at the 5. 9th play of the drive coming up. That was a 31-yard reception. And Schrader has the Raiders on the move. Bo Jackson is the only setback. Here's Bo. And on his first carry of 1989, he's met by about 6 Chiefs. Hello, Bo. Bo knows it's tough to run when you're the only guy back there.
I was going to say, Bo knows that he's not going to run far without some help up front, and the Chiefs just dominated the line of scrimmage that time. Sally Moon, number 97, got across there beautifully to get some penetration. And Bo Jackson, there's Kevin Ross, number 31. He gets across there in pretty good shape, too. And Cherry comes up. Just fine game tackling and penetration by the Chiefs defense.
So put it in the books, -2 on Bo's first carry. Second and goal from the 7. Schrader pumps once, lofts it out of the end zone, threw it away.
That's the kind of play the coach doesn't like, the fans don't like, and I tell you why, Tom, he had time to do something back there. He didn't need to throw that ball away, could have moved around. He didn't get any immediate pressure or have any pressure later on. He should not have thrown that ball away then.
He had rolled away from the pressure and bought himself some more time. He could have had 3 or 4 more seconds.
And these fans saw waiting in the end zone. Fernandez is back in the middle of the end zone. Bo Jackson here is trying to do a little blocking, but it's a pass play, Bo, and you're downfield. Well, you know, it's his first game back. He doesn't quite understand yet.
2 tight ends, Dial and Horton in the game. 3rd and goal from the 7. Schrader's pass incomplete. Good defense by the Chiefs. Jackson, the intended receiver, and Deron Cherry and Dino Hackett sandwiched him to knock the ball free.
Well, it appeared Schrader had plenty of time to find an open receiver, but Deron Cherry makes a nice dive to break up the play. Let's keep an eye on number 34, Bo Jackson, slipping through the line, and then he'll try and cut across the middle. Doesn't really run away from Deron Cherry. Another week or so, maybe Bo will come out of that break and cut across the field, and who knows what could happen, maybe touchdown. But Schrader's a little late getting the ball to him.
And Dino Hackett made sure Jackson knew he was playing football and not baseball. Jeff Jager is on to attempt the field goal. It'll be a 24-yard attempt. Flag down. The kick is good, but there is a penalty marker on the play. I don't think Howard Rowe knows it yet. Jager kicked it through. So an offside against the Chiefs. They'll mark it off on the kickoff, which is coming up when we return to the Coliseum. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from the Los Angeles Coliseum. We're in the first quarter, 2:21 left, 7-3 Kansas City. The Raiders just driving down the field, having to settle for a field goal, but their best offensive performance of the game thus far. Kansas City very impressive earlier as they drove 57 yards for the game's only touchdown. Jager ready to kick off. Excuse me, Joe.
Kansas City got good field position because one of the problems the Raiders are having, they miss Timmy Brown. He's the best return man in the game, and their returns have really been suffering because Brown's been out with the knee injury.
Art Shell on the sideline as Jager is ready to kick off. Copeland and McNair are deep for the Chiefs. Copeland settles under it at the 5. Slips a couple of tacklers, but can't get to the outside and is stopped short of the 20, about the 17-yard line. So Copeland returns Jager. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath on a pleasant Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. The sun peeking through a warm day. And two old rivals, the Chiefs and the Raiders, battling it out on the football field. 7-3 Kansas City. Okoye lowers his head, makes everybody move backwards, and grinds out about 5 yards. Bob Golick, the nose tackle, and Mike Harden, the strong safety, from the front of the defense and the back of the defense, latching on to the AFC's leading rusher and holding on for dear life.
Well, you hit it right on the nose, Tom. Okoye pushing his way through there. The Raiders really did a good job on that side of the line with Irv Eatman and Lutz. They kind of held their ground, but when Okoye got to that line of scrimmage, he just pushed his way forward for those 5 yards. 95
yards he gained in the win earlier over Los Angeles. Here he gets the call again, his 6th carry of the game thus far. Tom Benson, the inside linebacker and leading tackler for the Raiders, on the stop.
Mentioned earlier that Okoye was improving with each game, folks. What I'm talking, I've been working with Okoye and his footwork to try to get squared to the hole where he can pick a better place to run each and every time, and he's improving on that.
He's an amazing athlete, as you can see from those numbers. And a third down run. Okoye shows his stuff again as he barrels forward for a Chief first down.
Oh my goodness, like a bowling ball hitting a 10-pin or something. I mean, he just rolled right over the defensive back. You watch this little defensive back come up here, and I mean little, he's not really little, about 190 pounds. Mike Harden is what, well, Mike Harden comes in late, but Okoye just runs over people. He's getting good body lean. People say he runs straight up. What's his body lean here? Now then, tell me he's not learning to get lower.
He knocked a couple of linebackers backwards there as Christian Okoye shows his power. First down, Kansas City from the Chief 34. Okoye the only setback. Play action pass. Jaworski hit and still passes it complete to Okoye. Crosses the 40 to the 43-yard line. Christian Okoye with his first pass reception of the game. Tom Benson brought him down as the first quarter comes to an end. So that's the end of the first period of play in Los Angeles.
Kind of accumulation of a lot of good effort, but all of us realize that are in the Hall of Fame that it was the teammates that helped us get there. None of us would ever have received that kind of honor without the rest of the teammates out there. Football players all know that.
First play of the second quarter, a 2nd and 2 effort for the Chiefs, and Okoye is up close to the first down. Well, speaking of Hall of Fame and Hall of Fame rings, Art Shell, now the Raider head coach, was honored in pre-game ceremonies today as he officially received his Hall of Fame ring. Pete Elliott, the executive director of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, presenting the ring to Art Shell. Shell holding that ring aloft. He thanked his teammates, as you did, Joe. And he thanked Al Davis, who made it possible by drafting him, and one of the greatest offensive linemen in the history of professional football. Art Shell, now the first black head coach in the modern era of the NFL. First down play for Kansas City. Herman Hurd with his first carry of the afternoon. Lyndon King makes the tackle for the Raiders. Let's look at some other scores now. Ever. Week 6 of the NFL season. Okoye is out, replaced by James Saxon in the Kansas City backfield. 2nd and 9. This is Saxon, his first carry. Hit and dropped. The ball's loose, and the Raiders have it. The ball squirted free, and Los Angeles pounces on it immediately. Herman Hurd fumbled the ball, and the recovery made by Lyndon King of the Raiders. Greg Townsend, the man that popped it free. And the Raiders with the first turnover of the game. And of course, Joe, it's been turnovers that have spelled the doom for the Chiefs and their 3 losses this season.
Let's see the penetration here. There's Greg Townsend coming in from the outside to knock the ball loose. Then 52 gets up Lyndon King and gets over there on top of it. I tell you, you've got to cover that ball up. Let's see if it's poor ball carrying or just a good hit. Number 93 gets in there and the ball goes a-flying. You've got to hold on to that ball.
So Saxon fumbles the ball, and the Raiders recover. Los Angeles with a first down at the 43 of Kansas City. Play action pass. Schrader spins away. It's intercepted. Intercepted by the Chiefs. Making the pickoff, Kevin Ross. Kevin Ross, who has his 7th interception against the Raiders, as Los Angeles returns the favor by turning it back over to Kansas City. Fernandez was the attempted receiver as Schrader scrambled to get away from the rush and then threw it away. And here it is again.
Well, Schrader has a man open in the top left of the screen, but he doesn't see him. And then he's forced out of the pocket by Derek Thomas and throws a foolish pass off balance across the field where Kevin Ross says, thank you very much.
Well, Kevin Ross has made a career picking off Raider passes. Chiefs will have it. Interception, the ball at the Raider 49-yard line. Page in motion. Okoye bounces off one group, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then is thrown back to the Raider defense. Mike Harden, the strong safety, leading the charge. Here's the interception.
Well, he's off balance. You see how Schrader's throwing the ball off balance. Now, the ball's hanging in the air too long. When you throw a ball off balance, you don't get as much energy on it. The receiver Gault is open, but watch Ross come in here as the ball is floating through the air. He closes that gap and makes the interception. Poor decision by Schrader.
Chiefs have the best pass defense in the AFC. They've not allowed a 300-yard passing day by an opposing quarterback in over 20 games all the way back to December of 1987. Second and 11 after Okoye lost a yard. Jaworski's pass is caught at the 39-yard line. Pete Mandley over on the sideline made the catch in front of Terry McDaniel. Then went out of bounds, so Jaworski finds Mandley for a completion.
I tell you what, Tom, he threw the toughest pass in the book for a right-hander, and that's a deep out to the right side because his left shoulder's got to get turned. His footwork's got to be perfect. Look at his pass out in front of Mandley beautifully because Terry McDaniel was in pretty good shape there defensively. Jaworski still has a strong arm, has good footwork. He says his techniques are better these days than they've ever been. He's concentrating on them more.
Over 28,000 yards and was the top-rated quarterback in the NFL back in the Eagles Super Bowl year 1980. Okoye takes a blow but picks up a first down. The Raiders are ready for Okoye and still can't stop him.
Well, Okoye is seeing more of the holes. Tom mentioned earlier about him taking the right angles, the proper footwork. Coach Schottenheimer keeps stressing. This helps Okoye find the cutback hole. Here's Okoye, and look, he can see where he's going better. He squared up to the hole, so he cuts back away from the pile. It used to be he'd be taking an angle, and he couldn't see that hole on the backside to cut back. Here's his teacher, Marty Schottenheimer.
Said he still misses a few reads, Schottenheimer did, but he's very pleased with Christian Okoye, who's carried 10 times for 32 yards today. Reverse, fake, Jaworski to pass, and now scrambling. Slides down at about the line of scrimmage. Howie Long was tracking Jaworski. They faked the reverse, and Jaworski looked to pass.
And it's too bad Jaworski didn't see Stephon Page running free across the field for a post pattern. And had they given the ball to Mandley that time, he would have gained yardage.
It's odd to fake a reverse without first running one, isn't it?
It certainly is, and because they would have fooled him that time. Townsend, the defensive end from the Raiders, has been chasing, coming down hard across the line of scrimmage. A reverse would have worked that time. It was a stroke of bad luck for Jaworski because he simply didn't see Stephon Page open down in the middle of the field.
Second and long for the Chiefs. They lead at 7-3. 10:45 remaining in the first half. Okoye fumbles, and I believe the Chiefs got it back. At least they had it initially. Now it's going to be the Raiders signaling they have it, and they do. Second turnover of the game. Herman Hurd, it looked like he had it on the first bounce, but then the Raiders got in there to take it away, and it'll be Washington that gets up with the football. Lionel Washington wrestles the ball away, and the Raiders have their second takeaway from Schottenheimer's Chiefs. Raiders with the football and a first down after the fumble at their own 31-yard line. They trail 7-3. Bo Jackson on the pitch. Not much there. Stopped short of the 35-yard line. Give him 2 or 3. Dino Hackett met Bo in a hurry. Joe, let's go back to that Okoye fumble. It was a result of a good defensive play.
Well, look at 33 on the bottom of the screen. Eddie Anderson, he comes up. Now, you folks have heard of putting your hat on the ball. Watch where his hat is. He sticks it right in there and jars the ball loose. A terrific hit by Eddie Anderson, the free safety of the Raiders. Here you'll see him putting his helmet right on the ball from this angle. Beautiful angle. Great camera work. Right now, there it is. Boom, and that ball just comes shooting out of there.
2nd and 6 for the Raiders. Jackson on the delayed handoff, short of the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down for Los Angeles. Kevin Porter, the strong safety, up to stop Bo Jackson, who's been used sparingly so far. Trying to get his football legs under it.
I like the way Bo's hit these last 2 holes. If you notice, when he gets hit, he's going forward. They don't stop him cold. Those legs continue to drive. He's picked up these 7 yards or so on good effort. He hit the hole quickly and kept driving.
And wasn't that a memorable game against the Seahawks? 221 yards. I'll never forget, what was it, a 91-yard run all the way into the tunnel at the other end. There's Jackson bouncing off a tackler and coming up close to a 1st down. It'll depend on the spot of the football. Mike Junkin hit him. He sort of bounced off and fell forward. And the spot will be critical here. And it will be just short of 4th down coming up for the Raiders. Schrader's up there looking. He can't believe it.
Yeah, well, this is just a good tackle over here. You know, good saving that 1st down by Chris Martin, number 57. He just got a hand on Bo's ankle and was able to stop him just short of the 1st down.
Jeff Gossett to punt. And Mandley is deep for Kansas City.
8 seconds, Jim.
High punt by Gossett. Mandley didn't signal for a fair catch and sort of caught everyone by surprise. Just tripped up across the 34-yard line. There were Raiders standing all around him. I think they expected a fair catch. He didn't make it and made a good return out of it before Mike Dial made the tackle for Los Angeles. They begins with Bob O'Jay and the gang on NFL Live here on NBC. The Raiders will take on Randall Cunningham and the Eagles. In the second game, most of you will see the Patriots against the 49ers. Jaworski hit as he lets it go. Okoye dropped it. And it'll be ruled incomplete. Incomplete pass. Okoye earlier in the game made his first reception of the season. Couldn't quite field that one. It'll be an incomplete pass. Scott Davis was putting the pressure on Ron Jaworski.
Well, Jaworski would have liked to come across the middle, but right there, big Alfredo Roberts is held up. And then Jaworski smartly really gets the ball off out there to the outside to Okoye, and Okoye couldn't handle it. But his first receiver was right in the middle, and he didn't have him. So he steps, oh my goodness, did they miss a face mask there? I mean, he had hold of Jaworski's face mask and got away with it, Scott Davis did.
About twisted his head off. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Kansas City. Chiefs with a 7-3 lead. Okoye hit behind the line, dropped back at the 30 for a loss on the play. Scott Davis again with a big defensive effort for the Los Angeles Raiders. Scott Davis in his 2nd year out of Illinois, the former All-Big Ten player.
Well, Scott Davis just gets across that line of scrimmage and beats Gene Chilton, who is in there at left guard right now. 3rd-year player out of Texas, and Chilton just could not contain big Scott Davis.
Davis, a 1st-round draft choice last year, has set up a 3rd and 13 for Kansas City. The Raiders with their nickel package. And Kansas City responding with 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. Jaworski under pressure, steps up, throws it incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver. As the Chiefs looked like they had a man open, Todd McNair. He couldn't handle the pass. Greg Townsend was putting the pressure on Jaworski that time.
Well, Jaworski did a very good thing in stepping up in that pocket, and he throws a good pass to McNair. Watch how Jaworski will step up into the pocket to avoid that pressure nicely, and then McNair seems to stop. He misjudged the ball. It was a good pass by Jaworski.
Kelly Goodburn just gets his punt away. It's taken by Bobby Joe Edmonds. And Edmonds with a good return for the Raiders. So Los Angeles will take over just shy of midfield after the Raider defense does its job. 7 for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Well, that's Kurt Schottenheimer, Marty Schottenheimer's brother, and he's the special teams coach, and he did not like that return. Kurt was quite a player himself, Tom. He's All-American quarterback at Coffeyville, Kansas Junior College. Led the country in scoring his sophomore year for passing.
Here's a look at the late starting NFL games. Pittsburgh with a 3-0 lead on Cleveland. That was a 51-0 Brown win in the opening week of the season. Jackson is in motion, and the handoff is to Smith. Steve Smith for a quiet couple of yards. Leonard Griffin, defensive end for Kansas City, was ready for him that time. A reminder that we will be selecting a Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game. That comes up at the conclusion of the contest.
Look at that headgear on Smith. Do you think he doesn't get hit a few times? My goodness, those running backs stick their head in there, and those big defensive linemen just mark that helmet up.
The stripes
come
loose.
That's right. Boy, your head gets some shots out there.
Second down play for Jay Schrader and the Raider offense. Jackson quickly in motion. The give will again go to Steve Smith. Smith up the middle, the 3-year veteran from Penn State, a third-round draft choice, who is the second leading rusher for the LA Raiders.
Let's take a look at the Pro Bowl's defensive nose tackle, Bill Moss, and boy, he just gets he gets the worst end of that deal that time. Number 67, Dan Turk, did a good job of taking him down the line of scrimmage. Turk, of course, is playing center for the injured Mosbar.
Vance Mueller has replaced Bo Jackson in the backfield for the Raiders. Steve Smith and Mueller are the running backs. 3rd and 2. Schrader has a wide open man for a first down. Mueller out of the backfield. Deron Cherry gave him a little cushion, and Schrader found him for the Raider first down. It covered 8 yards, and the Raider drive continues.
Well, good play action fake. 3rd down and 2. The Kansas City Chiefs first expect Schrader to good play action fake. My goodness, I thought it was a play action pass, and here it's just straight drop back. Well, at any rate, the Chiefs were going to be playing run that time, and that time they just got fooled. And we'll watch Moss here. He's trying to charge in there, get good penetration, kind of gets tackled, you might say, by Steve Wisniewski.
It is a Raider first down from the 34 of the Chiefs. Kansas City leads 7-3. Jackson picking up his blockers. There's a flag down, and Jackson is down after a gain of 2. Kevin Porter leading the Kansas City secondary, and good run support there. It'll be a hold against Los Angeles.
A good effort, but once that blocker gets his hands on the outside of the defender, he better get him down quickly, and Wilkerson didn't do it quickly enough that time.
Penalties have been a problem, as you saw, for Los Angeles this year. Mueller is in motion. Schrader buys some time, and now will run for it. Slides down at the 40-yard line. Gained 4 yards on the scramble smart by Thomas as a rookie to avoid making some contact there and possibly drawing a flag. He just jumped over the down Schrader. 2nd and long. Pass knocked away. Good defense that time by Mike Junkin. Junkin got a hand in there to flip the ball away as it was sailing toward the intended receiver, Mike Dial.
Boy, it's a game of inches, and Schrader's just a hair off on some of these passes. He gets that ball out in front again, just a hair more out in front, then he's got completion, but it was an underthrown pass, an inaccurate pass, and that enabled McGovern to break up the play. Schrader knows it. See, he knows it. I gotta get that ball out in front, darn it. Boy, when you have an open receiver like that and good protection, you've got to make those plays work.
3rd and 17 now for the Raiders, who have 3 wide receivers, Galt, Fernandez, and Alexandrian, the nickel for the Chief defense. Schrader hit as he let it go. There's a flag on the play. Schrader under intense pressure and retreated all the way back to his 45-yard line. Was hit as he let the ball go. There's a penalty marker down. Holding call against the Chiefs. This is a big penalty.
Holding. Defense. Number 24, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So J.C. Pearson with a costly holding call on the Chief defense, giving the Raiders a first down on a 3rd and 17 play. Well, the Chiefs had done an excellent job. They had Schrader chased all the way back deep into his behind his line of scrimmage, back to the 45-yard line. An incomplete pass, but a holding call keeps the Los Angeles drive going. Jackson in the I formation in the tailback spot. Here's the pitch to Jackson. Bo stopped for no gain. Well, maybe he did fall forward for a couple. Chris Martin, Derek Thomas, outside linebackers pouncing all over Bo, who has yet to break one in his first football game of 1989. Denver leading the Colts. Seattle and San Diego tied up. Pittsburgh still on top. This Western Division, as always, wide open. Denver in front at 4-1. Everybody else 2-3. Schrader steps into the pocket, looks for the end zone. Fernandez can't get there. Fernandez covered deep by Kevin Ross. In the meantime, Chris Martin was coming in on Schrader in the pass too long.
Of hitting those long bombs, and when he gets hot, these Raiders are going to start putting points up.
But so far he has not been hot, as you saw. 4 of 11 and facing a 3rd and 8 here. Galt, Fernandez, Alexander, 3 wideouts. And the play clock expires before the Raiders get it called. It's a delay of game against Los Angeles. What he sees at the moment, his Raiders have had some opportunities, but still trail 7-3.
That's Jim Otto, the Hall of Fame center, Mr. number 00 for the Raiders over the years, sitting to Al Davis's right.
All the Raider Hall of Famers, with the exception of George Blanda, were here today for the Hall of Fame ring ceremony to Art Shell. Schrader again buying time. And a pass complete just short of the 20-yard line. Mike Dial with another clutch catch, and the Raiders have a first down. Danny Copeland was covering Dial as the clock ticks down toward the 2-minute warning. The Raiders with a big 3rd down completion. And the clock will stop with the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs leading 7-3. We'll be right back after these messages. 2 minutes left in the first half from the Los Angeles Coliseum. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath. The Raiders, with a big 3rd down play, have picked up a first down from the 21-yard line of Kansas City. 9th play of the drive coming up. Schrader's pass incomplete. Good coverage as Fernandez had the inside position on Kevin Ross, but Ross able to get a hand in there, and the pass goes incomplete. Ross has been a busy man today.
Well, I'm not too sure that was really good coverage as much as it was the pass being thrown behind Fernandez. Once again, Schrader has good protection, but the ball is just behind Fernandez. Had the ball been out in front, we would have seen touchdown there.
You're right, Joe. The ball was behind Fernandez, and Ross actually was a step behind. So Schrader again sputtering a bit. He's 5 of 13, 87 yards here in the first half. 2nd and 10. 7-3 Kansas City leads. Steve Smith, the fans don't like that call. He's inside the 20-yard line, gain 2 or 3. Leonard Griffin wrapped him up as the clock continues to tick away. Raiders with their full complement of timeouts remaining.
It's amazing how, if your quarterback is hot, these receivers find a way to get open just a step or two. But Schrader, we keep saying he's inconsistent. He's not hot, and that's a fact, Jack, because if he has that ball out in front to Fernandez the last time, it's touchdown, and he's missed several receivers. He struggled with this consistency and accuracy, actually, throughout his pro career.
Stay with us at halftime for NFL Live. 3rd and 6 coming up for Los Angeles. 3 wide receivers in the game. Now one of them, Alexander, in motion. Schrader lofts it up, and it's incomplete. Flag in the end zone. J.C. Pearson was covering Fernandez, and the flag flies. That could be the second costly penalty of this drive against J.C. Pearson. Pearson was guilty of a hold a while ago that gave the Raiders a first down.
Pearson's afraid it's going to be called against him, and he doesn't know why.
It is pass interference against Pearson of the Chiefs. Pearson is the GOAT of this Raider drive.
Pass interference on a defense. Number 24 in the end zone. Spot the ball. 1 yard line. First down.
Well, it's not like Pearson did something outrageous back there. The ball, again, is thrown inaccurately, and here Fernandez actually gets his right hand on J.C. Pearson and pushes him. Look, they pushed Pearson out of the way. I tell you, I'm surprised at this call. I think the Chiefs got the short end of this one. That's a bad call.
That should have been offensive interference, if anything. But instead, it's 1st and goal for the Raiders. Bo Jackson, the tailback. Smith is the fullback. From the 1. Jackson. Loss of a yard. Kevin Ross came up from the corner and stopped Bo at his tracks, drove him back for a 1-yard loss.
And Bo just showed the rookie Derek Thomas something about some speed too. Derek Thomas has a dead beat on Bo Jackson coming across here, and he just gets outrun. Derek said, whoa, where'd he get that burst of speed from?
So the ball spotted at the 2-yard line now. There's a look at Derek Thomas, the talented rookie linebacker of the Chiefs. 2nd and goal from the 2. Bo. Touchdown. Well, Bo Jackson is a talented package. He has speed, he has power. This time he showed us his power as he lowered his head and pounds across for the 2-yard touchdown run, his first touchdown of the 1989 season. Jager to try the extra point. Gossett is the holder. Bad snap, a high snap, but Gossett pulls it down, and Jager boosts it through. Bo Jackson, with his 10th career touchdown, has given the Los Angeles Raiders the lead. It's 10-7 L.A. For the first time in the game on Bo Jackson's 2-yard touchdown run, capping a 12-play drive that covered 51 yards and just over 6 minutes. Although Bo's stats are not that impressive on the day, he did show us some good power running there. McNair and Copeland deep. Here's Jager's kick. Taken in the end zone by Copeland, who are down at there.
Hackett takes on Steve Smith, who knocks Dino back into the end zone, and Kevin Ross cannot stop Bo Jackson for a 1-yarder or no gain. Just too strong of Bo Jackson hitting that hole. Good blocking up front that time by the Raiders. Steve Smith, as we mentioned, got a helmet in there on Dino Jackson, but I tell you, Kansas City did everything to hurt themselves that last drive. And that last interference call, Tom, I'm not too sure. I thought they got a bad call that time. I didn't see J.C. Pearson do anything illegal.
J.C. Pearson had been called for a hold earlier, giving the Raiders a first down. So now the Chiefs have 56 seconds with which to work, trailing by 3. And the handoff is given to McNair. McNair gets out of bounds after a gain of 8. Lionel Washington forced him out. Stops the clock with 49 seconds left.
Well, the Chiefs don't want to do anything dangerous right now. They do have 3 timeouts to work with. Let's take another look at that interference call on J.C. Pearson with the game.
Where it is 2nd down and 1. Jaworski rifles it complete to McNair, and McNair then is driven back, but he has enough for the first down at the 35-yard line. Tom Benson was covering McNair, and once he caught the pass, they drove him back. That it's not a burden to him. He hopes people will see beyond his color. Appeared in more Pro Bowls than any other Raider in history. And he says the Raiders are not about color. The Raiders are about winning, and that's what he wants to be known for, turning this franchise around into a winning franchise once again. First down for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bad snap. And Jaworski falls on it. Well, Mike Webster, the veteran center in his 16th year, did not snap to the shotgun when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And of course, Joey spent some extra time on it in training camp this year, but still probably not the greatest shotgun snapper in the league.
Well, let's take a look at the snap and see what happens. There you see Webster 53. Now the ball gets back there. It's too hard for Jaworski to handle. There's too much heat on it. Jaworski really couldn't react to it.
And I think the Chiefs are just going to let the time run out as Webster, the only remaining active player from those great Super Bowl years of the Steelers. Chiefs will just let time expire in the first half, trailing by 3. And the first half does come to a close. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs struck on their first possession of the football. They went all the way down the field. They had a 57-yard drive that resulted in a 7-0 lead. Art Shell's Raiders came back with a field goal. And then he said that the biggest change for him being a head coach versus an assistant is the demand on his time. He said he talks to the media a lot. He has to as the head coach. He says as an assistant coach, you're only responsible for one small segment of an entire team. Now it's the whole picture you're dealing with, the whole team, and the demands on his time have been the toughest adjustment, but said he was happy, very happy to be a head coach, that it was something he had always planned for. And he said over the years, Al Davis had counseled him about the problems he might face and about the chances of becoming a head coach. And sure enough, Al Davis makes him the first black head coach in the NFL's modern era. Here's the kickoff to open the second half. Jaeger sends it on its way and is settled under by Copeland. He comes back up the field, stumbles forward, still keeps his feet going. It's McNair, excuse me. And McNair is to the 19-yard line.
Well, I like the way that Jaeger kicks off. He kicks the ball high, and he doesn't allow these return people to get much yardage. Heck, they're only giving up like 11.4 yards coming into this game on kickoff returns, and most of it is because of the way Jaeger kicks the ball. He kicks it high.
That one by McNair, that return covered 18 yards. Ron Jaworski, 5 of 8 in the first half, 59 yards. Marty Schottenheimer said we're doing some things to help us in our passing game, some play action, some short passes. Of course, Jaworski in his first start since 1986, a couple of games ago against the Bengals, threw 4 interceptions. Christian Okoye gets the handoff, and he has about 4 yards. That big offense.
Stick it at the Raiders and try and get this ground game going.
Okoye has had 3 100-yard rushing games in a row. Had 95 against the Raiders in the earlier 24-19 Chief win. There's Okoye again. He's across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Bring up third down for Kansas City. The veteran linebacker Jerry Robinson stopping Okoye. That
behind them that has afforded the yardage so far.
No question that the Chiefs like to move it on the ground, but on 3rd and 3, they line up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in for the Chiefs. Jaworski's pass caught across the middle by Clarence Weathers. Clarence Weathers, who was just activated a couple of days ago, makes a first down catch for Kansas City in front of Eddie Anderson, the free safety. And there's Weathers for his career, picking up his 99th catch. First down for Jaworski, a 10-7 deficit facing him here with 12:41 left in the third quarter. Play action. Jaworski has a man open. Intercepted. Recovery by Anderson to pick it off. Eddie Anderson back upfield and into Kansas City territory. Jaworski waited too long. He had a man wide open, and Anderson recovered for the interception. Stephon Page was downfield. Dressel was downfield. It was Dressel that had a step on the defense, but Anderson recovered.
Anderson came from the middle of the field. He had enough time to get over there. Jaworski on the play fake. Now he said he should throw it now. He's throwing it a little bit late. Gives Anderson a chance to get over there. Plus, Jaworski threw the ball way short of Stephon Page. So it was a combination of bad timing and a poor throw.
Eddie Anderson had the interception returned for a touchdown a week ago. Here's Bull. Bull to the 20. With a saving tackle with Bo Jackson produces his best run of the day. 18 yards and a Raider first down.
I mentioned Bo Jackson said he's in shape to play, even though baseball shape isn't quite the same as football shape. His legs are strong. He feels great. He doesn't have any injuries, any pulls of any kind. Moving that arm around a little bit. A concern would be, can he hold on to the ball after not receiving any hits, but he's been doing a good job.
Raiders with a first down inside the 20. Bo. Not much there this time. He fumbled the ball. Was he down? Let's see. And he got it back. Leonard Griffin hit Bo hard. The ball came loose, but somehow he was able to gather it back in.
Yeah, I think he might have been down by the time the ball came out that time, but that was a good play by Leonard.
Gets it back anyway.
Yep.
Second down and 10 for the Raiders. Schrader, sacked. The ball's loose. Los Angeles gets it back. Derek Thomas, who leads this team in sacks with 4.5 coming in, gets one there. The ball is loose, and Bruce Wilkerson recovers it for Los Angeles. Here's Wilkerson, who made the saving grab of the football, but Derek Thomas, the All-American first-round draft choice out of Alabama, the first linebacker taken by Kansas City in the first round ever, with a big play.
Well, Thomas should be coming from the left side around Roy Graves, the left tackle. There you see Graves try to push Thomas, as Thomas just simply outran Roy Graves to the corner, and the Raiders are lucky to recover this fumble.
First sack of the game, a 13-yard Raider loss. Nickel defense for Kansas City. Schrader under pressure again. Knocked down. Deron Cherry able to bat it away as Alexander drew a crowd in the middle of the field, and Schrader went down after the throw. There's Cherry, who made sure the pass went incomplete.
I cannot believe Schrader threw this ball. I mean, doesn't he know that one of the best free safeties of all time, and Cherry is back in the middle of the field, and all Schrader did was throw the ball too high. There's coverage down there. Watch here, you'll see Cherry come into the picture. He's waiting for the ball. A very poor decision by Schrader, and he got away with it. It wasn't intercepted.
This is going to be a 50-yard field goal attempt by Jeff Jager. Gossett is the holder. From 50. Good. Jeff Jager, with his longest field goal of the season, adds to the Raider lead. Field goal, his career best. McNair and Copeland are deep for the Chiefs, and here's Jager's kick. A high kick again, like you mentioned, Joe. McNair from the 2. A pretty good return across the 20 to the 22-yard line. 20 yards on the return. Mike Harden on the special teams tackle. Well, Jeff Jager just making his career best 50-yarder. Joey puts everything into this kick.
He sure does. There you go. Well, he's already made contact, takes a seat to watch and see what happens, and then comes out of his seat because, yes, 50 yards worth and 3 points.
So 2 for 2 on the afternoon, including the 50-yarder to give the Raiders a 13-7 lead. His previous career best was 48 yards. Now Ron Jaworski down 13-7 with a first down at his own 22-yard line. Christian Okoye finds a seam, picks up 7. Ricky Hunley.
Game going more consistently, and Jaworski's got to start making better decisions.
Okoye replaced by Saxon in the backfield now. Saxon the lone setback. And the give to Saxon, curls it back toward the middle and picks up a Chief first down. James Saxon with a Chief first down run. Here at the Coliseum, 13-7 Raiders over the Chiefs. Chiefs for the first down at their own 33. Hand off to Saxon. Second consecutive carry for Saxon, and that's only a couple of yards. Kansas City had good success on first down a week ago against Seattle. They averaged 6.2 yards on first down. And of course,
North, and he make the decisions on the field that the players make, and the players are the ones that are hurting themselves.
In their 3 losses, they turned the ball over 15 times, and their 2 wins only twice. Jaworski's pass complete. Manley makes a first down catch on the slant pattern. And Jaworski put the ball on the money that time.
Oh, that's the play that the Chiefs needed to kind of get some momentum going with this offense. They needed to hit this play. Jaworski smartly finds a receiver, holds the ball just long enough, and puts it in the perfect spot out in front of Manley.
So the Chiefs keep their drive going. They're approaching midfield at their own 48-yard line. Clock shows 7 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And it's 13-7, the Raiders leading the Chiefs. On the ground to Hurd. Marty Schottenheimer said yesterday he had to get the ball to Herman Hurd more, but he's only carried a couple of times today, and that one stopped for no gain by Howie Long.
Okay, I don't know why Coach Marty Schottenheimer wants to get the ball to Herman Hurd more. I think you'd want to get the ball to Okoye. If he's healthy, I'd have him in the game. Of course, I know that Herman Hurd can do other things, shift out wide as a pass receiver, go downfield, catch passes. He's a really good receiver, but gee whiz, Okoye is your ace running back, and when you're running the football, I'm surprised that they're not using Okoye more often.
Chris Dressel has replaced Jonathan Hayes at tight end. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left for the Chiefs. Good protection for Jaworski. He finds his man at the 40. Manley with another catch for a first down. Lionel Washington beaten on the play by Pete Manley, who's been an important pickup by the Chiefs, the leading receiver for Detroit back in '80.
He's just a remarkable athlete. Mike Webster, number 53.
Bob Golick had a good story about Mike Webster. I'll tell you right after this play.
Hurd.
Met at the pass and dropped by Ricky Hundley and others. Golick also got a piece of the tackle, and Bob Golick was talking about Mike Webster yesterday, and he said once Webster drove Golick about 10 yards back and buried him face down into the dirt, and he said then Webster reached over, helped Golick to the ground, and as Golick was picking sod out of his face mask, Mike Webster said to him, "You know, you're getting better and better." Second and 11 for Kansas City. Jaworski across the middle, wide open to Hurd. Herman Hurd to the 25-yard line and a Chief first down. Finally caught from behind by Eddie Anderson. Jaworski a little gimpy as he found Herman Hurd wide open for another Chief first down, and Jaworski still limping around. Not very mobile to start with. It's a 15-yard gain and a Chief first down just short of the 25 of the Raiders. Okoye inside the 25 down to the 23. Howie Long, who's been very active the last few plays, putting the pressure on Jaworski a moment ago, making the tackle there on Okoye.
Howie Long, one of the best there is. He's been hampered with injuries the last couple of years, but this man dominates the line of scrimmage when he's healthy, and he's just working his way back to good health. He's not quite at 100% yet, but he has the kind of penetration and quickness that they look for in a defensive lineman, plus he's so big and strong. He has it all.
I liked his passing technique yesterday as the Raiders in their practice on Saturday, the offensive and defensive linemen practicing passing drills. They were loose. Flags down as Jaworski's pass is batted down. It looked like one of the wide receivers, or maybe it was Alfredo Roberts, jumped a little too soon. Penalty's going to be against Kansas City. Howie Long once again was quick off the ball, putting pressure on Jaworski. With a crucial play coming up. Will be coming up for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders in their Pirate 50 defense we told you about at the start of the game. 5 defensive linemen in there for a good pass rush. Double wides to either side. Jaworski hits his man. It'll be close to a first down. Manley all the way to the 16-yard line. It'll depend on the spot of the football here. Mike Haynes, the veteran cornerback, whose job is on the line today with the Raiders, making the stop on Manley, and it will be short of the first down. So the veteran Haynes did his job there, stopping Manley short of first down yardage.
Well, they marked it at the 18. Let's see where Manley, in fact, does go down. Good catch right here. Now let's see where he hits the ground, because all he needed was another yard. Boy, they marked it at the right spot, Tom.
So Lowry with a field goal attempt of 35 yards. Nick Lowry on the season has hit 8 of 11 field goals. And he missed it. Nick Lowry misses from 35 yards. So the long Kansas City drive goes awry, and they come away with no points. 13-7 Raiders. So 61 yards, 12 plays, no points for Kansas City. The Raiders take over at their own 20-yard line. Kerry Porter into the backfield for the Raiders with his first carry of the afternoon. It picks up about 3 yards.
Anytime Nick Lowry misses a field goal, you want to look at little things like, was the ball placed straight? Did he hit the ground with his foot? Does dirt fly here? I can't tell much of anything except that that ball did curve. It looked like a pretty good hold, and it surprises all of us anytime that Lowry misses.
Nick Lowry, one of the best kickers in the NFL. As a matter of fact, had the highest field goal percentage in the NFL the last 4 years, 82%. 2nd and 7 for Los Angeles. Schrader goes deep on the sideline, too far for Vance Mueller. Chris Martin covering Mueller out of the backfield as Mueller went streaking down the sideline, and Schrader lofted it up, but too far.
Just a little strong throw that time, overthrow by Jay Schrader, because Mueller did have a step on him. Now Schrader's blessed really with what I call the knockout punch on both sides of the ball. When I played, we had Don Maynard, the deep threat. Well, Schrader has 2 deep threats in Mervyn Fernandez and Willie Gault. So this Kansas City Chiefs defense is doing a good job of stopping those deep threats, and Schrader has just been inconsistent enough that they haven't been able to maintain any kind of steady passing attack. He's just not an accurate passer.
Mueller very late getting onto the field, and the Raiders will have to call a timeout to avoid a delay of game penalty. Well, a mix-up there from the Raider sideline as Mueller came very late onto the field, and Art Shell's team wastes a timeout. Al Davis very pensive and obviously not happy with that as he sits upstairs here at the Coliseum.
Well, Coach Davis.
Well,
yeah,
that's right. You aren't far off the mark there.
And I talked before the game, and Tom Walsh, their quarterback coach, does the play calling now for the Raiders. He's been doing a pretty good job since last week anyway, when they changed their format a bit. Art Shell, as you see him talking to Schrader, doesn't really call the plays because he hasn't had that kind of a background, but he knows what plays Tom Walsh wants to call, and he either agrees or disagrees with them. But Walsh is the man that's making the decision on the play calling these days.
Here's a quick 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. Mueller and Porter behind Schrader. 3 wide receivers, Gault, Fernandez, Alexander. Schrader under pressure across the middle and incomplete. He threw that into dangerous territory. A lot of white shirts converging on that football. Kenny Hill was first there, intended for Kerry Porter. Punting situation coming
on after Jaworski throwing that pass, that right leg.
Gossett to punt with Mandley deep. High good kick from Gossett. Mandley chased all the way back to his 23. Nowhere to go. He is smothered at the 29-yard line. Down there leading the charge, Ethan Horton for the Los Angeles Raiders. So the Kansas City Chiefs will take over. 1:51 left in the 3rd quarter. LA on top.
The Marinos, and it doesn't take much time to release the ball, so there's not as much reaction time for the defense to get to it, and you don't take as many sacks.
Okoye gets the call, and now at quarterback for the Chiefs is Steve DeBerg. Ron Jaworski with a sprained right knee. It is possible he could return, but Kansas City has gone to Steve DeBerg at quarterback. DeBerg started the season, then had a disastrous 5-interception game against the Chargers and was benched in favor of Jaworski 3 games ago. Jaworski, who had his right knee sprained, I think it was a collision with Howie Long, and Steve DeBerg is taken over at quarterback. Marty Schottenheimer said the 2 were very even at the end of training camp, and DeBerg a little more familiar with the offense, so he got the call, but then benched for Jaworski. DeBerg's first pass, flag down, it hits Herman Hurd in the back. Ricky Hundley was covering Hurd, but it bounced off his helmet or shoulder pads, it looked like. Let's check the penalty flag. Doesn't matter. It's a hold against Kansas City anyway. So it's 2nd and 17 now for Kansas City. The holding penalty puts them in a deep hole. 1:04 left in the 3rd quarter. DeBerg's pass complete. Ricky Huntley immediately pouncing on Alfredo Roberts, who made the catch from DeBerg, his first completion of the game.
Well, you know, the Raiders will give up this pass here. The defenders are dropping back into their zones. Watch 98 on the left side of your screen come in to make the play. Reacting right away on Alfredo Roberts, and he doesn't mind him getting a little 5-6 yard gain, because now that puts Schottenheimer's Chiefs in a 3rd down and 12 situation.
Here's Steve DeBerg. Clock down to 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 13-7 Raiders. Howie Long got to DeBerg before the ball did. He says, I was pulled off. He pleads his case. Let's see if they agree. Howie says, yeah, it's against them. Yeah, no problem. He got the green light and he went.
And he's pointing over there in Irv Eatman's direction, or Lutz one, and he's insisting that one of the offensive linemen move.
It will be against Kansas City. The Chiefs self-destructing here.
Well, they've hurt
Ball
themselves.
start on the offense. Number 72, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Dave Lutz with the false start, and Howie Long was off to the races.
Look at the left guard, just to the left of the hash mark, and he moved before Long made that contact, and I didn't see him move before Long had crossed the line of scrimmage. At any rate, it goes against the Chiefs.
Nickel defense, but before the play can get underway, the gun will sound to end the 3rd quarter. So the 3rd quarter has come to an end at the Los Angeles Coliseum, with the Raiders clinging to a 13-7 lead, replaced by Steve DeBerg. And DeBerg with a crucial 3rd and long coming up here, deep in his own territory. 3rd and 18. Screen pass, Hurd, flag down, Hurd to the 30 and 10 yards short of 1st down territory. But there is a penalty marker on the play. Mike Haynes tackling Herman Hurd on the screen pass. The illegal man downfield for the Kansas City Chiefs. And a punting situation for Marty Schottenheimer's team, trying to sweep the Raiders for the first time since 1961.
Ineligible member, offensive team, downfield. 53, decline, 4th down.
Mike Webster was too far downfield. So on 4th down, Goodburn is on to punt. The officials re-spotting the football back to the 30. And now Goodburn ready to kick. Bobby Joe Edmonds, the deep man for the Los Angeles Raiders. There he is back at his own 25. Sailing punt from Goodburn. Edmonds back to the 17. Stopped at the 30-yard line. Goodson passes, and he is on the sideline. Replaced at quarterback for Los Angeles by Steve Berline in the middle of the Raider huddle, number 7. There are his numbers on the season. That's 68% of his passes. And he has been known to give the Raiders a lift when he comes on. 1st down from the 30. Hand off to Bo. Here's Bo Jackson. 11 yards and a 1st down by Bo Jackson. Albert Lewis finally got him to the turf.
Bo just taking it outside with this speed. Gets away from Dino Hackett on the right side of your screen. You see 56 has a clear shot at him, but look at that speed. Bo just turns on the speed to make it around that corner. Speed and power. Bo's back and he's ready.
He's carried 10 times for 40 yards and a touchdown today. There are the numbers on Bo in his first game at his hobby. Had a big year with the Royals. Ironic that he would play his first football game against the Kansas City team. All-star this year in baseball. Quick handoff to Steve Smith. And Smith bursts forward for about 5 or 6 yards before Chris Martin can trip him up.
Chris Martin brought him down.
Well, Art Shell electing to change quarterbacks, perhaps on the advice of that man, the owner, Al Davis. He was in the coach's booth calling some plays into Mike Shanahan before dismissing him and bringing on Art Shell, and perhaps Al Davis with a hand in this switch to Beuerlein. Nickel defense on for Kansas City. Second down play for the Raiders. And perhaps Beuerlein is changing it as then he calls a timeout. He had Jackson and Smith shifting from the eye to the split back formation, and then calls the second timeout of the half for the Los Angeles Raiders. What happened then, Joe? Was time running out?
He saw something he wanted to take advantage of, and he couldn't quite get to it. You could see he had enough time to call the audible, but the formation he was in, the play didn't come to him quickly enough, and by the time...
Oh, Pittsburgh 10-0 over the Browns. They lost 51-0 in the earlier meeting. How do you figure? That was in Pittsburgh. Second down. Pitch it back. Jackson reverses his field. He's got a first down. He's on his way to the 10-yard line.
There, then stops, comes back, kind of like a la Marcus Allen, and changing fields and directions, and his speed just takes him away from Deron Cherry. And Chiefs Albert Lewis, one of the fastest in the backfield, caught him. Good vision by Bo Jackson here for a guy that's not played football since last year. He's only had a few days of practice. He's making some good decisions out there.
Here's a give to Porter. Kerry Porter takes it for a couple of yards. Down to about the 7-yard line. Well, Bo with a 39-yard run. And that's the Bo Jackson this Raider crowd came out to see. He is an exciting athlete. He's one of just a handful, Joe, that are known by only their first name, Bo. Everybody knows who you mean.
And you see that offensive line of the Raiders right there. Having Bo in that backfield gives these guys a lift. They know if they just give number 34 just that little bit of crack, he's going to get some big yardage for him.
Well, he was held to only 8 yards on his first 6 carries, and now he's really turning it on. Touchdown, Mueller. There's a penalty marker down. Penalty flag on the play, but apparently against Kansas City. Face mask call against the Chiefs, and Mueller's touchdown will stay.
Well, that score puts the Raiders in command, and the Chiefs in big trouble because the Chiefs isn't the kind of team at this stage that's a good catch-up team. They're going to be hard-pressed to come back and get some points on the board, at least as many as they'll need after this Raiders score.
Jaeger will try the extra point after Mueller rambles for 6 yards, and that is his second touchdown run of the season. His third touchdown overall. 5 plays, 70 yards on the Raider drive to take command of the game, and Jaeger tries to tack one more point on the lead. He got it. Well, Steve Beuerlein, with a little help from his friend Bo Jackson, puts a charge into the Raider offense. And Los Angeles builds its lead to 20 to lead over Kansas City. And there's Jaeger's kick, another high kick. Fielded by Copeland. Doesn't get much to the 24-yard line, where he's hit by Zepp Lee.
For the Raiders, right guard number 76. Watch Mueller follow Steve Wisniewski right here, the rookie from Penn State. Wisniewski keeps driving, and Mueller just follows the huge guard through the hole into the end zone.
And you saw the face mask, which he just shook off. That was the penalty, which was declined. And Art Shell with a congratulations for Mueller, who scored the touchdown, and for Jackson, who set it up. And Shell said yesterday as we talked to him that he wanted to restore the toughness to this Raider team. Thought they lost their toughness, and he's hoping to go 2-0 as a head coach. Steve DeBerg still at quarterback on a swing pass, complete to Alfredo Roberts, but Jerry Robinson, the veteran linebacker in his 11th year out of UCLA, would have none of it.
Well, I wasn't too keen on that pass route, actually. I mean, DeBerg went to an open man, but Roberts never did get downfield. He came out of his stance and just went down the line of scrimmage, and Robinson reacted beautifully.
About a half-yard gain. Officially, it'll be 2nd and 10. DeBerg chased from the pocket. Knocked down. Good defensive play. Stephon Page was a step behind Mike Harden, but Harden recovered to knock the ball down.
Good play by Harden. DeBerg's able to get out of the pocket. It appeared to be a good throw, but Harden left his feet. Got a hand on it. Now DeBerg can't find his receiver to the left and then takes it outside, and let's see if the ball could have been out in front more. Well, that was a pretty darn good pass and a good play by Mike Harden. Sure, the receiver has to come back a little bit, but that was not a badly thrown pass, just a good defensive play.
4 wide receivers, 2 either side for the Chiefs, facing the Raider nickel. DeBerg hit as he released it by Howie Long. Long storming in from that defensive end spot, just circled the offensive line and got to DeBerg as he released the ball. And so Goodburn to punt to Bobby Joe Edmonds. Edmonds lets it bounce, takes it on the hop, tries to get behind the wall, and is hit and driven back. Somebody stuck him at about the 42 and drove him back to the 40. That was Jonathan Haynes. 10 minutes, 7 seconds left in the game, and the Chiefs need some points in a hurry.
Got around him a little early.
There are the other scores. First down play for Steve Berline. He has Smith and Jackson at the running backs. Pitch to Bowe. Flag down. Bowe knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Kevin Ross and several other members of that Chiefs secondary. There'll be a penalty against Los Angeles.
Penalty is indicated against the Raiders.
Now, the way this Raider defense is playing, I would think the Raiders...
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I would think the Raider is in there so they can run the clock.
Right now, Smith and Jackson are in there in split backs behind Berline. Actually, it's Mueller that's replaced Jackson now as Berline will put it in the air. Flush from the pocket to set up a screen to Mueller. Mueller behind his blockers has a first down, or close to a first down, just short, as he's tripped up at the 47-yard line by Albert Lewis.
Good call by Tom Walsh, the play caller for the Raiders. A good safe pass here. Just going to be a little screen pass, and they don't ask much of Berline right here, just to drop it off, and you see this protection out here. Goodness gracious, Turk 67 throws a good block. Fine play. Kansas City wasn't ready for it.
It went for 14 yards to the 45-yard line. It'll be second down, still about 5 or 6 to go. Galt is in the slot to the left. And there's a delay of game penalty. So Berline, how many snaps would he get in practice leading up to a game like this, Joe, with him being the backup quarterback?
Well, the way these quarterbacks are falling these days, I would hope that he'd get at least a third of the snaps. But a lot of the time, a lot in the preseason, and I don't expect his timing is very much off.
Fernandez left, Goff right. 2nd and 11. Erline's pass, too tall, incomplete. Intended for Dial, the tight end. He didn't like it. Erline had his man and overshot him.
You know, I was just told that Berline does, in fact, get more work than 30% of the snaps that I guessed at. They say that he gets 40 to 50% of the snaps in practice, which for a backup quarterback is very good. That's smart on the Raiders' behalf. I mean, I know they're aware of the quarterback injury problem, and they want to have that backup quarterback ready at all times. So I think that's a smart move for the Raiders to give him a lot of work in practice.
So he should be comfortable with the offense. Right now he is facing a 3rd and 11. 3 wide receivers for the Raiders, 2 to the left. Nickel defense, Chiefs. The blitz is on. And the Raiders pick it up. The pass, though, almost intercepted off the hands of Fernandez, and Pearson nearly picked it off. In fact, juggled it, should have caught it.
They don't call it a pigskin for nothing. Now, Berline's got to figure that.
Manley is deep for the Chiefs. Dawson with another great punt. He's had a big day. This one, though, will hit inside the 5 and bounce into the end zone. So the Chief brain trust, Joe, in a position they don't like to be in. They like to run the football. Here's Steve DeBerg, and the Chiefs now need to get some passing yardage. Berg's pass is complete and then dropped. It'll be ruled an incomplete forward pass. Pete Manley had it, then coughed it up after the hit by Mike Harden. Eddie Anderson recovered the ball, but it'll be ruled an incomplete pass.
Just a good defensive hit on Manley that time. I believe we're going to have a holding penalty back here anyway, so it would have been brought back. But the fans here were hoping for a completion and a fumble on the play.
It was a penalty against the Chiefs.
Holding. Offense, number 7.
The Raiders have kept Christian Okoye under control today, and now going to the passing game. He's on the sideline for Kansas City. Will go on the ground. I said he was on the sideline. He was not. He might as well have been, however. As a surprise run by the Chiefs is smelled out by Lyndon King and Greg Townsend. And that LA defense, which has allowed only 80 yards rushing last week, is under that mark today.
Controlling that line of scrimmage.
No gain by Okoye on that play. And the Raiders have kept him under control today. Here's DeBerg. Pass is complete to Page. Page trying to shake away. Can't. And he stopped well short of first down yardage. Terry McDaniel stopping Stephon Page, who does keep that string going. Now 54 games.
Put down in 12, so the Raiders have Kansas City where they want them.
Double wide receivers to either side. DeBerg has it incomplete, almost intercepted. It would have been short of the first down anyway to Emil Harry.
That's what I can't understand, Tom, and I'm sure Coach Schottenheimer can't understand it. So Emil Harry catches the pass. It's going to be 4th down and 6. DeBerg chose a receiver that was well short of the first.
Right there, right there.
Bobby Joe Edmonds chases it down over by the sideline inside the 30. Runs into his own man and then is taken out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Harry Porter was the man that got it Edmonds' way, and then Rob Thomas, the rookie from Kansas City, came along to finish him off. Let's review the scores now. Here at the Coliseum, 20-7 Raiders. They have the ball with a first down at the Los Angeles 42. Smith and Mueller, the setbacks. Vance Mueller spinning forward for about 2.
You see,
Dino Hackett on the stop. Go ahead, Joe.
yeah, you see what the Raiders need to do now. They just should keep the ball on the ground. I would let them run the football. And sure, okay, if Kansas City can stop them, fine. But the Raiders' defense is playing so well defensively. You want to run the clock right now. And then if you have to punt, but the Chiefs need 2 scores. And what the Chiefs have to do right now, I would be playing run or pass. I'd be getting about 8 guys up toward that line of scrimmage, expecting the Raiders to stick the ball at me on the ground.
See the clock inside 6 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It is running around, and Mueller couldn't handle it. Almost intercepted, as you called it, Joe. A very dangerous play. That one could be picked off, run back for a touchdown, and the game is right in the balance.
I know it doesn't make sense to me. Anytime you put the ball in the air, you know, there are 2 things that can happen bad. One is an interception.
I never thought I'd hear you say that.
Off a tipped ball here. Look, this could be an interception here. Why even take the chance? Another thing is, if Mueller catches the ball, well, we might get hit and fumble the ball too. It's just, you just have so many ways of going wrong with the passing game. When you have a 13-point lead and you're inside of 6 minutes, keep it on the ground.
And now on 3rd and 8, they go to the shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers. And the Chiefs with their nickel package. Beuerlein hit as he let it go, picked off, intercepted at midfield, and brought back into Raider territory. So Beuerlein hit as he let the ball go. Kenny Hill with the interception. And as you called it, Joe, the Raiders electing to pass on 2nd down, then are too far to run the ball on 3rd, and Beuerlein tosses the interception.
Hey, it's great for Kansas City. They're right back in the game now. The Raiders did exactly what they shouldn't do. Let Kansas City get back in the game with a turnover, and that's exactly what they did. Good defensive play back there. Was that Chris Martin that hit him, 57?
It was, yes.
That jarred the ball loose. Here you see Martin get in there right now. Boom. Sticks it right. Well, actually,
no,
that's
it's not Sally Amua.
Sally Amua back there. But poor play calling, poor play selection on the Raiders' behalf.
So now Steve DeBerg tries to make the Raiders pay for that mistake. Clock down to 5.5 minutes. DeBerg is hit, and he throws it away. Nobody close. Emil Harry in the vicinity, and now DeBerg shaken up. Already Ron Jaworski, the starter, left the game with a sprained right knee. That time it was Scott Davis putting the pressure on today. Pass intended for Hurd is complete, but a short gain. Again, that little safety valve not amounting to much. The Chiefs need to throw it down the field, and so far been unable to.
I can't help but wonder that DeBerg may be playing too conservatively. He got benched because of the turnovers, and I can't help but wonder if he's afraid of creating another turnover out there.
Less than 5 minutes. This is 3rd and 7. Hurd, he has a first down, and then fumbles the ball. The Raiders have it. Mike Harden back to the 45 of Kansas City. Herman Hurd had a first down reception, then fumbled the ball, and turnovers again have ended any chance Marty Schottenheimer's team has of winning. Art Shell is happy to take advantage of that. The 4th turnover for the Kansas City Chiefs today.
Well, the Chiefs are trying to say that he was down. Let's see if he is in fact down before this ball comes loose. Hurd makes the catch. Now let's see if his knee hits before the ball comes loose. No, he lost control of that ball.
In fact, it was on its way out even before he was hit. It looked like it was sort of peeking between his arm and his side.
Free here at today's
makes the tackle, but Marty Schottenheimer's team with its 4th turnover. One of the keys to the Raiders, as this play evidently is being reviewed right now, one of the keys today for the Raiders has been the stopping of Christian Okoye, who was held to 52 yards on 18 carries, coming off a 156-yard day that made him player of the week.
After further review, play stands, first down.
Hurd's fumble gives the ball back to the Raiders.
Now, what are the odds on the Raiders throwing a pass here? I want to know. If they go to the air again, boy, I was surprised the last time, but I can't believe they'd take that chance again.
4:44 on the clock. Mueller and Smith, the running backs, in the eye. There's the time. Mueller, nice run. Vance Mueller to the 40. Didn't look like there would be much there, and he turned it into a gain of about 6. Deron Cherry, the free safety, had to come up to make the tackle on Mueller. Vance Mueller out of Occidental College here in L.A., a 4th-round draft choice back in 1986, and a versatile back.
That's Terry Rabinski there, the coach with the earphones and hat, talking to Art Shell. He's in charge of the tight ends. Had a good visit with Terry the other day, and I wanted to know why they weren't throwing to the tight ends more. He says, hey, Joe, we'll get it anywhere we can get it as long as the guy's open. They just haven't been coming open.
Down to the 4-minute mark. Smith close to the first down. A little scuffle breaks out. These two teams.
Yeah, Marty Schottenheimer, Coach Schottenheimer's trying to tell those guys to get some penetration, get up there on the line. Come on, create something.
He says the turnovers have been their downfall. Once again, that script is played out here today in Hollywood. Not to the liking of the Chiefs. Their losses have been riddled with turnovers. Their wins have been cases where they've taken care of the football. There's a fight. Ethan Horton, the former Chief, taking on Kevin Ross and Deron Cherry, his former teammates. Well, once you become a Raider, everything changes.
Yeah, and it especially changes when you're on the good side of that score. You have a 13-point lead, you don't mind talking a little bit or relaxing a little bit more out there.
As we went to the Raider practice yesterday, Joe, we saw some resurfacing of that Raider attitude, didn't we? Art Shell said he wanted to restore it. It looks like he's on his way.
Well, you know, the Raiders were getting away from the type of team that they've been in the past. Their image was changing. They were being perceived differently, and the attitude had changed some. And that's the main reason that Al Davis made that move to get back to Raider football. He was afraid they were losing their identity.
So the Raiders have to spend their final timeout, but they are sitting on a 20-7 lead with just 2:51 left in the game. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Kansas City Chiefs. All rights reserved. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath with you from the Los Angeles Coliseum. Steve Berline replacing Jay Schroeder at quarterback for Los Angeles. Bo Jackson in his professional football debut has had a big day.
You know, Tom, it's 4th down and about a yard, and the Raiders appear to be going for it. Personally, I'd try to pull the Kansas City Chiefs offsides. If they didn't jump offsides, I'd take the 5-yard penalty and punt Kansas City back in the hole, but I wouldn't try to pick up the first down here.
Berline with a long count, and they will run it. They give to Mueller. Mueller almost broke free. Inside the 30 of the Chiefs, and a Raider first down. Oh, Kevin Ross just made a saving tackle, and Chris Martin got a little piece, or Mueller was going to take it all the way. Looks like Ross is hurt. Coach of the Los Angeles Raiders. Just 10 seconds remaining before the 2-minute warning. Steve Smith for little gain. And that'll stop the clock at the 2-minute mark. So we've got a timeout at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Raiders preserving a 20-7 lead. Coach enjoying himself on the sidelines with a successful return to the football wars. Took a 10-day vacation after the end of the baseball season to try to heal some little minor nicks, and as you see, a big day rushing for the Los Angeles Raiders, one of their keys to victory today. Well, Bo knows baseball. 32 homers, 105 runs batted in to lead the Royals in those departments. 26 stolen bases, a very exclusive club he joined during the baseball season. Baseball has been his primary area of concentration, as the folks back in Kansas City know, but no slouch in the football field, and that's why Al Davis and the Raiders willing to pay him so much money, and he certainly put a charge in the Raiders today, especially in the absence of their leading rusher, Marcus Allen, who watched from the sideline today, 5-time Pro Bowler, injured in Monday night's win over the New York Jets.
Brilliant move by Al Davis getting Bo Jackson. It's a big shot in the arm. It's like making a trade every year and getting a superstar to join your team after 5 weeks.
The Raiders have this lead despite a subpar passing day by their starting quarterback, Jay Schroeder. Steve Berline has replaced him, and here hands off to Smith, who's wrestled down at the 30-yard line. I'd like to take a moment to thank our statisticians, Stan Otake and Doug Mann, and our spotters, Gretchen Meyer and Chuck Panama, for doing a fine job here at the Coliseum today. Kansas City takes a timeout, stops the clock with 1:47 left, and we'll take a break as well with the Raiders on top by 13. Bo Jackson. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's games. Bo does indeed know football. 11 carries, 85 yards, a touchdown, including a 45-yard rip. He's the Budweiser MVP for today's game. Third down play here for the Raiders. Kansas City jumping offside. Let's see if they were drawn as the flags fly. I'd hate to get in the middle of all that. Howard Rowe with a call. It's the Raiders. Joe, one thing about this AFC West, if somebody can slow Denver down a little bit, it's well bunched. We'll wait for the call here.
False start. Offense, number 66. Third down.
So the Raiders with a chance to get right back into it as Steve Wright is called for the penalty.
You know, Denver's been remarkable this year because they haven't been playing really good football. They played well against the Buffalo Bills, but they've been playing poor offensively. Their defense has done well, and they're out of the box with that 4-1 record. They're going to be hard to catch, but the Raiders now at 3-3 have a lot of season to look forward to, so they have a feeling they can make the playoff.
10 games remaining after this one. Vance Mueller brought down inside the 30-yard line. It'll be fourth down. And there's another fight. Wisniewski, the rookie, getting into the spirit of things. And the referees will stop the clock as they separate the huge bodies that are banging at each other. Clock shows 1:35. Chiefs down by 13.
Yeah, I know they could call the rest of this thing off because it's just going to take time back and forth.
Third timeout, 40 seconds.
That's the final timeout taken by the Chiefs. And it gives us a chance to take a break as well. Bo Jackson likes it. We'll be back. West, if this stands as it is now, a Raider victory, the standings would look like this. Denver 4-1. Kansas City will lose for the fourth time. The Raiders will even out at 3-3, so that's updated for this game only if it remains as it is now. And as always, a well-balanced division.
Kansas City has got to find a way to hold on to the football. I mean, their defense played well enough today, I thought. The offensive line didn't have one of their better efforts, but it comes down to turning that ball over, losing control of the ball. Coach Schottenheimer knows it. A couple of bad penalties. One I didn't think should have been called on Pearson, but KC just can't stop hurting themselves.
Turnovers and penalties. Here's Porter. Stopped at the 30 on a fourth down play. And the ball will go over to Kansas City. Well, to have any chance, Kansas City needs a quick strike right now. 1:29 left. They're out of timeouts. Ari Schottenheimer, 13 points down.
Well, a quick strike, the old onside kick, and you've got a chance to win the game. You're down by 13. Most important thing right now is that offensive line of the Chiefs. Give DeBerg some good protection so he'll have time to look around downfield. The short passes right now aren't going to be of any use to Kansas City. Maybe a short completion, a long run, but they're not going to get that with the Raiders laying back in the zone defense.
Raiders already with their six-man defensive back scheme, and the safeties are about 20 yards off the ball to start the play and backing up as it gets underway and flags fly. You know, the defense of the Raiders gets a large measure of this victory if it stands. Penalty against Kansas City.
False start, number 75, offense, first down.
Big Irv Eatman out of UCLA. The Raider quarterbacks really did not have a good day today. Schrader was 5 of 16, Berline 1 of 5. Combined totals of 6 of 21 passing for 102 yards, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and yet they have a 13-point lead. DeBerg sets up a screen. Herman Hurd out of bounds at the 32-yard line. We've got a final score in now on the Denver Broncos game. Denver wins again. Denver winning 14-3 over Indianapolis. And so the Bronco juggernaut continues to roll, now 5-1 and atop the AFC West. Seattle currently has a 1-point lead on the Chargers. 17-16 is the score there. So that's up to the minute on the AFC West race. Here, a minute 21 separating the Raiders from their third win of the season. DeBerg throws it, and it will be enough for the first down. First down catch made by Clarence Weathers. And so Kansas City, with the clock ticking away and they can't stop it, keeps the drive going. That was a 9-yard completed pass. Zeph Lee made the tackle, but not until the first down had been picked up. Hurd out on the flat, gets out of bounds at the 45 to stop the clock. Now 55 seconds left in the game. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. Today's game produced by Tom Roy and directed by J.D. Henson. NFL Live produced by David Neal and directed by Bucky Guntz. The NFL Live news producer, Ricky Diamond. And the technical directors, Mike Strominski and Richard Sansevier. Thanks to all the folks here at the Coliseum, too. A fine crew, as Jaworski had to leave the game with a knee sprain and is watching from the sidelines as the Chiefs on the verge of their 4th defeat of the season. Thanks to a good crew here at the Coliseum today. Flags are down. DeBerg has another screen set up. Hurd again carrying the football and still on his feet inside the 40 of the Raiders. 2 penalty flags down the field with 46 seconds left. Eddie Anderson tripped up Herman Hurd. Schottenheimer is not a happy man, although this penalty will go against Los Angeles.
Defense, offside, number 99, decline, first down.
Berg again quickly sets up in the shotgun. Clock restarted and down to 45. DeBerg to Hurd again. This is to the 30-yard line. Joe, they're going to need to throw to the end zone sometime.
Yep, the clock is continuing to run. Well,
and DeBerg downs it to stop the clock. That's a legal play. 31 seconds left. Well, hope you'll stay with us all night long. Coming up tonight on most of these NBC stations, the magical world of Disney with a brand new life. Then Sister Kate, My Two Dads, and the NBC Sunday night movie, An 8 is Enough Wedding. That's coming up tonight on the NBC Sunday night lineup. The two opposing coaches. Art Shell so far off to an impressive start. The Raiders with a short week playing on Monday night. As Raiders beat the Jets at the Meadowlands and now on the verge of beating the Chiefs here at the Coliseum, despite the best efforts of Marty Schottenheimer. DeBerg. Hurd. He's got it at the 7. They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, and Hurd gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 24 seconds left. The Chiefs breathing irregularly, but still alive. Here's a final look at the scores from today's action. That one went for 19 yards to Hurd. Those are the early games.
Well, Pittsburgh is still holding that lead over Cleveland, Tom.
DeBerg's pass for a touchdown. Rob Thomas, the rookie receiver, makes the catch, his second touchdown catch of the season. He caught it in front of Eddie Anderson, and the Kansas City Chiefs draw closer with 19 seconds left. 2 straight points after touchdown. Keeps that string alive. Well, get ready now. Kick. See the way they've lined it up. The Raiders are up close. Lowry's kick must go 10 yards. It does. And is recovered at the 50-yard line by the Raiders. We saw them practicing that yesterday. They had their good hands team out there, and the practice pays off. Ball was recovered by Mike Dial. Steve DeBerg has hit 13 of 18, 109 yards and a touchdown today as he replaced Jaworski. Let's watch the onside kick again.
Well, Dial's in the game, as are the other tight ends and all the good hands people. As we mentioned, you see Dial go up and just get his hands on the ball cleanly, and then he's able to tuck it away. That's an important thing that a man on the onside kick team needs to know when he does get his hands on the ball, to quickly tuck it away, because that kick covering team is going to be there quickly and they want to hit you and jar the ball loose. Good job by Dial.
Well, the Chiefs are out of timeouts. They can't stop the clock. So the Raiders must run only that one play, and the clock will tick away to end the game. The Raiders will go to 3-3. The Chiefs 2-4. The final score will be the Los Angeles Raiders winning it with the help of Bo Jackson today. And Al Davis celebrates a victory. Tom Hammond for Joe Namath saying so long from Los Angeles. Now to Charlie Jones, Seattle and San Diego.